What's going on, everybody? Welcome to TLP Sports Club. You are watching TLP Live. I am your host. I go by the name of Harry B, and the B means billion. Welcome to today's live show. In today's show, I want to talk about the fact that Cleveland may have a squad. If it doesn't pan out this year, it looks like they're building something that may pan out in a couple of years. Like very soon, the Cleveland Browns may be competitive. But I want to talk about some of the details that could make them competitive. And then I also want to talk about if they don't do anything, then they can get worse. But you already know about the Cleveland Browns. But there are a few nuances that some of the newcomers, the people that are around here, the bandwagon Browns, right? Because we're the bandwagon buffs, the bandwagon Browns. Some of y'all may not know some of these things because this is not your home team. This is not the team that you root for every single year. So I wanted to look at it because I'm looking at certain things. I'm following certain things online, and I'm like, like the things that make you go, I want to talk about those things and a lot more in this here video. I got a few things I want to share with you. So if you bear with me, we're going to have a good time on this here live. And don't forget that, you know what I'm saying? Don't forget, there's a game this Saturday. All right, there's a game this Saturday, and we're hoping that what are we hoping for? Anyways, we got a lot to talk about. Right after these messages, we'll talk about them.
BWB, bandwagon buffs.
That's right. It's your man's Harry Billion. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. So let's go ahead and get to work right away, guys. Yes, so the Cleveland Browns have somewhat of a squad. It's surprising. I've been paying attention. I've been doing a little bit of homework, and since we got over here, we've been looking at Shador, and we're like, okay, so what is the Cleveland Browns? What exactly are they missing? So if you pay close attention, the Cleveland Browns could be competitive within, like, I would say, a year and a half, 2 years. But it depends on a lot of moves, though. The Cleveland Browns have to lock in on a couple of moves. So in this here live, I wanted to take a look at that as some of those little key positions that they can make moves on, and then they'll be right there. I know that they're in a pretty tough division. All right, when you're in a division with the type of team that they gotta face in 2025, and how they fared out last year is real tough. But they're not that far off. If you're not paying attention, or if you look at everybody else, then yes, it's easy for you to say, well, yeah, everybody else is tougher. But Cleveland has made some moves in the offseason that could actually have them in position to be able to be competitive within a couple of years. I will give them 2 years, but there are some very specific things that they need to move around, pieces that they need to move around in order for them to be very competitive. And I think they can be competitive. So let's look at them. All right. And welcome everybody. Let me let y'all know off the cuff. If anybody's out there that knows the Cleveland Browns and you want to come on the panel and help me out, you can definitely do that. All right. The information that I post, some information may be a little bit skewed because, when you're doing this internet search, sometimes things get missing in the shuffle. So if I miss something, just charge it to the fact that the internet is not quite undefeated. You feel me? But anyways, if you want to come onto the show, guys, remember you can come onto the show. All you gotta do is just email me, right there on your screen. Join TLPlive@gmail.com. Join TLPlive@gmail.com. That is the email that you're gonna hit me up with. You hit me up. I click on you. You click on the link. I send you the link that I'll send you. You click on it. You come on. We talk. Right there is the email. Join TLPlive@gmail.com. That is the email. And if you are feeling generous and you want to bless a brother, my Cash App is right there on the screen. That is $ for those who are just listening and not watching. $, right? Like the $, like the little S with the slash through it. That's the $. Then the next thing you're going to put is TLP Sports Club. That's right. Tango Larry Peter Sports Club, TLP Sports Club. Thank you so much for those of you who have blessed me with your hard-earned money. I appreciate it. That's how we keep this show free. And like in my intro, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That's how you can also help me for free. If you don't have money or you don't want to use your money, you can use your free button. That free button, that subscribe button, that's good too. You know what I'm saying? It's good as money. But if those two options are not good for you, the like button, that's also a good one too. You can help me with. And then of course you can always comment, and that helps the algorithm. All right. All of those things are going to help the channel. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. Let's go ahead and let's get started. I'm going to take this off the screen. All right. Let me remember to take off the intro and let me share my screen. I got a lot of slides to go through. It's a whole lot of slides to go through. But I got some work. I did some work. I did some digging, and we about to get it in. Let me say hello to my folks that are in the chat. Kay Chandler, Kevin Chandler, what up with you? Tosh Smith is in the building. Tosh Smith, Dallas, what up with you? Jerome Wilkerson is in the building. The Browns are low-key better than people realize. Yes, Jerome. Jerome knows. Yes. If they get the QB right, they can make playoffs. They can make the playoffs this year. So if Jerome, you know the Cleveland Browns. You know what I'm starting to see now. You know exactly what I'm starting to see. That's good. That is good. Because I'm looking at it and it's easy to write them off because they stunk up the place so many, for so many years. But like they have a couple of bright spots that we need to look at. I'm gonna focus on the offense this in this live. Maybe on another live, I'll go into the defense because you need to play complementary football. If the offense is one side of the ball is playing great, but the other side, that can affect how the game ends up, and that can affect how the game goes. So I'm not going to be talking about the offense, the defense on this here live too much. I may reference a few key players just to kind of keep the conversation moving, but I want to focus more on the offense on this video. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go. Like I said, I got a few slides that I gotta share with you. So let me go ahead and start with the first one. Let's start with the write-up, and that's going to be from PFF. All right. I think this is it right here. So let's go. All right, so how the Browns offensive line stacks up in PFF's 2025 offensive line rankings. All right, dividing into PFF's newly released 2025 offensive line rankings. Now, here it goes. Cleveland Browns offensive line has taken a beating over the past few seasons. Both on the field and in the media due to injuries. Okay, like Dr. Umar, who repeats everything, due to injuries. All right, and lack of overall production. So, the American English and the American language is kind of weird. But if you're going to say due to injuries and then you say in a lack of overall production, so I would say the injuries probably affect the lack of overall production. You agree with me? Can the church say amen? Because if you say there's injuries, you can't be injured and produce at the same time. So if due to injuries and the lack of overall production, hey, that affects that as well. You feel what I'm saying? PFF, the English language is very interesting. When I came in, I didn't know it, but I went to school and I got caught up. Okay, I'm caught up with a lot of y'all, and I lapped a lot of y'all. Okay, hey, yeah. Anyways, God is good. Amen. Can I get some amens in the chat right now? Okay. Woo. Let's go. According to Pro Football Focus's brand new, that's PFF. Okay. Just for those of y'all who don't catch it, you know what I'm saying? When you say TLP, they're like, what does TLP mean? It's the Liberian perspective. Okay. So PFF, Pro Football Focus. That's what PFF means. Let's keep it going. All right. According to PFF's Focus's, there you go. According to Pro Football Focus's brand new 2025 offensive line rankings, the Browns offensive line unit ranks 27th Again, 27th, Dr. Umar, heading into the regular season. It's an unfortunate sight. Is it really? Because sometimes these rankings could be an omen. All right? Depending on where you're ranked, that could be, listen, it could be a motivational factor, especially if you're better than the numbers are suggesting, right? Seeing as they were once ranked amongst the best in the league. We got to say Dr. Umar again on this one. Seeing, okay? Remember now. With us, seeing is believing, right? With God, you got to believe and then you see. With us, seeing is believing. So seeing as they were once ranked amongst the best in the league. How long ago was that? How long ago was that? It wasn't that long ago, my friends. All right? The text is truth. It wasn't that long ago. This is the glimmer of hope that had me researching today. I was like, the show was going to be at 10:30. I was like, no. Let's push the show back because I got some more research. I was like, wait a minute. What's going on? The Browns are actually not that bad. You know what I'm saying? If you put things into perspective, right? A building team or a team that was once amongst the ranked. So now could you take words and put it here, put it over there, put some over here? Yeah. It said due to injury at the top. So could the injury have affected the fact that they are not amongst the best anymore? What question comes up after you read that? Come on, help me out. Put it in the chat. Come on, guys. Let's go. Come on, man. It's 11 o'clock in America, man. You've already been working your 9 to 5. That means you've been in there 2.5 hours already. You're up. You had your coffee. Let me take another sip of my coffee. Come on. Put it in the chat. What question comes up after you read all of that? Let me help you out. This is the question that you should ask. Are they healthy or are they still injured? You see what I'm saying? Are they healthy or are they still injured? And if the answer to that question is they're healthy, then this right here, let me give me a second. If they're healthy, friends, and they were amongst the best in the league, hey, then that's a possibility that they may be returning back to their glory days, my guys. Are y'all paying attention to me today? All right, I don't have a lot of time. I know I'm late, but I still got to get up out of here early. You feel me? I'm like that terrible player. I come late and I leave early. Yes, that's what we do. All right, so now there are some key players that we want to look at. And PFF wrote this thing up, and I said, thank you, PFF. You know, I love it when I get write-ups because that's what I lean on. I lean on writings. I lean on the poetry. This is Joe Batonio. All right, Joe left guard, Joe Batonio, and right guard Wyatt Teller. All right, who were once ranked as the best offensive guard duo in the NFL. When I read that, I was going to say pee my pants. I was going to say something else, the S word, and I was like, almost pee my pants, boy. I was like, wait a minute. Somebody help me out in the chat. Somebody please help me out in the chat. Because I don't want to keep talking for a long time and then find out, oh, these dudes are not even here no more. Are these guys still on the team? Y'all please help me out. When was this written? I didn't even give credit to the writer. My bad, writer. Oh, this is PFF. Yeah, right? Okay, Matthew Wilson. Okay, I always like to do that. I give credit to where credit is due. This is by Matthew Wilson, and this was posted July 7th, 2025. It was posted at 3:18 p.m. All right? Just last month. All right, so the Texas Truth said these guys are still here. All right. I know I started my education late. I started when I was 12 years old in the 6th grade when I came here in 1989. But I've made up a lot of stride. I made up a lot of road, okay? So as I'm reading this and I'm trying to extrapolate You see what I'm saying there? You see what I'm doing there? You see those words I'm using? I didn't know them when I got here. Okay, I couldn't even, it was like scoot over. I was like, what does scoot over mean? Anyway, I know what a scrappy legs means. Okay, I'm trying to ascertain information here. You feel me? I said, wait, hold on a minute. They're using English words, so that means that the duo, Joe Batonio and right guard, left guard, and right guard. Let me see if I have the y'all remember when I did that thing where oh man, Lord, please let me have it. Oh, I deleted them. Oh yes, I deleted them because I didn't need it no more with Colorado. But I put up it was like a screen overlay where I put up the offensive line. Oh, come on, my guys. Come on. I don't have it anymore. Okay, but it's okay. It's okay. You have the left guard, you have the right guard, okay? The left guard and the right guard, they were the best left guard, right guard duo in the NFL before injury. That's telling me a lot, guys. Using the English dictionary. Webster's my friend. Education's my cousin. If they were the best duo in the NFL and injury has caused them not to be producing, I'm reading a lot into this, guys. All right? They haven't been that's effective due to injuries and are age-related issues. Oh, I should have read a little further. Oh, haven't been effective due to injuries and age-related issues. What age-related issues are we talking about? So hold up. Because obviously we've been age shaming Joe Flacco for a minute now. So, all right. So who's older, Joel or Wyatt? Are they both old? Are they like 50 years old? Y'all gotta help me with this. You feel me? Like I'm new. A lot of us around here are new to Cleveland. So y'all help me to figure this out, okay? Let me decrease myself so that this thing can increase. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's read a little bit into this. The age could have caused the injury because they're old now. Like I told y'all that whole long story in the last live. When you get old, you cannot be racing no 10-year-old on the beach. You're going to pull stuff. And when you're old, guys cannot be hitting you like they used to hit you when you was younger. All right, so age-related issues. All right, I get it. All right, so we're going to need some young bucks in the left guard, right guard position situation there. So I get it, but they still got a lot of game in them. Though there's a chance that it won't make a difference at all, the team has hope that the pair can get back to their old selves. Wait. If you know American comedy, and we said age-related issues, and then you say, can we get back to their old selves? Is that a pun? Am I supposed to laugh, or are they talking about, like, are they using old, like, differently? If they can get back to their old self, I'm going to say young self. Help me out here. Help me. Come on, English language. All right. If they can get back to their old selves in 2025, all right, for one main reason. Okay. So, see, that said a lot. This is why I like to use, like, you know, PFFs and these writings, these guys that have the skinny on these teams. You feel me? Especially when I come to somewhere new, I need the writing. I need to write up because I know how to read the tea leaves from the writings. All right. So if JW, all right, if Joe and Wyatt can get it together, and that means that they're healthy this season, then that means that Cleveland's offensive line would be a good offensive line. If these guys, they're shifting back to the old. Why do they keep using old? What is going on? Okay, I think they're using old in a different way because you know the English language is weird. All right, they're shifting back to the old wide outside zone scheme, right? This season. Pay attention. Put a bookmark in there, okay? Put a bookmark in there because I'm going to share with you something a little later that actually plays to the old reason why they were good when they were good. Okay, so put a pin in that as I show you this information right here. All right, so now Cleveland Browns are, this is the PFF rankings here. They are below Jacksonville Jaguars, who are ranked 26. Remember, that's Travis Hunter's new team, right? The Cleveland Browns are 27th. New York Giants are 28th, right? So they're a little worse than the New York Giants. I mean, they're a little better than the New York Giants. The New England Patriots, now, obviously, this, I don't know if this is like indicative of what the movements are that has happened already. This is the ranking coming into this 2025. This says offensive line rankings entering 2025. All right. The Seattle Seahawks are 30th. Cincinnati Bengals are ranked 31st offensive line, according to PFF. All right. And then number 32 is going to be Houston. Come on now. We already know. Houston, I don't know, man. For y'all to be like one of the football states, I mean, y'all be coming in suck. Like, what's happening? The Texans suck, okay? Point blank, period. Don't pass go. Don't collect 200. And if you got 200, you can send some of that to my Cash App. You feel me? $ TLP Sports Club. Help a brother keep this channel for free. All right. Okay, so remember I said remember those names, okay? Keep those names in your mind. We should see Batonio. If I'm pronouncing this name wrong, I'm new to this. I'm new to the Cleveland Browns, so please forgive me. All right, I'm going to get this stuff right as time goes on. Okay, we should see Batonio and Teller pulling a lot more as well when Cleveland sequences power schemes off of stretch plays throughout the season. Okay, now this is the center. The center, Ethan Posick, is another piece that needs to play much better in 2025 after coming off what could be seen as an okay season. Okay season. That means when they're saying okay there, that means that Ethan Posick was good before, but he not transgressed. He didn't. Well, the fans would think it's a transgression, but he digressed. Yeah, he digressed in 2024. So 2020. I mean, he digressed in 2020. Yes, 2024. All right. So 2023, probably 2022. He was okay. Remember, I don't know Ethan yet. I'm just getting to know Ethan. Y'all let me know in the chat if Ethan Posick was really good before. Okay, but he has to be more consistent in order for the offense to work. Now, keep in mind the center. That's the person right there, okay? He's down on center. That's Shador's guy. All right, that's the butt slapper. What is nuts? Give me these nuts. I'm sorry. That was weird. Okay. What the heck? Where'd that come from? I need to pray more. My conviction is getting loose. I'm saying these nuts. All right, both OTs, DeJuan Jones and Jack Conklin, need to stay healthy this season if the Browns are going to have any chances of replicating their offensive success from a few seasons ago. Jones also needs to have a smooth transition to full-time left tackle this offseason, and that could be a feat. Hold on, did I just read? Also needs to. Okay, yes. And that could be a feat in and of itself. Remember Tyler Brown? All right. One of Coach Prime's better players from Jackson State. He came to Colorado. They moved him around. They thought he could do a lot, but he couldn't. And because they took him out of position, he's strong, but he something happened. Okay. That's reminiscence of Tyler Brown. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Brown's one of the best players that Colorado had. They just took him out of position. And that's an inside joke for somebody, okay? You feel what I'm saying? On a good note, here's a good note in here. It appears as though Jones is healthy. All right. On a good note, he's healthy, guys. He's healthy. It appears as though Jones is healthy and off to a great start this offseason. Reportedly, weighing in around 40 to 50 pounds less than what he did in 2024. Wait. So he had like 3 human beings. He added 3 human beings on him in 2024. Okay, in 2024, he took those human beings off. It was like maybe 2 toddlers and a baby or something like that. All right, overall, his ranking 27th feels like a realistic spot for a group. Feels like a realistic spot for a group that hasn't done much to help themselves as of late. So, guys, listen, let's break this all down. I don't have a lot of time, so I gotta do this quickly. All right, but I got a lot of slides that I brought today. All right, usually I don't bring that many slides. I'll just be ready to talk. But today I brought some slides to help us out. So what this tells me is this whole write-up. All right, what PFF is trying to tell us is that the Cleveland Browns offensive line is better than Colorado. All right, so they are okay. They're okay offensive line. The only reason why they look terrible the last couple of years is because of injuries. Now, if these guys are healthy, then that means that the Cleveland Browns offensive line is going to be able to hold up and protect the quarterback. Now, even though we're still trying to figure out who the quarterback is going to be, whoever that is, if it's the old guy, Joe Flacco, he's going to need a lot of protection. We don't want old man Joe to be running around trying to pull the hammy. You feel me? All right. The less old people run, the better for old people. I can tell you that as an example. Old people should not be running around. All right. Stop playing with me. So these are the names I want you to remember. These are the key players. We got the left guard, the right guard. All right. Now, the offensive line ain't got that many people. Do you see the thumbnail that I put up there? The thumbnail should let you know. Let's put up the thumbnail. Let me put up the thumbnail. Give me a second. It ain't that many people in that offensive line. It's not that many people. We only need a few people to do what they're supposed to do, to just play well. All right, let me pull up this. Let me pull up the thumbnail. I don't have my graphics right now. All right, so this is the thumbnail in case some of y'all just missed it. You just love the channel. So you anytime I'm live, you like, oh, Harry B, I'm in there. Let's go. Bada boom, bada bang. Okay. All right, 77, 64, 75, 71, and whoever's behind 71. You see how many players this is? We got the left guard, the right guard. All right. We got the tackle, the left tackle, the right tackle. Guys, it's not that many people. So what does that mean? That means that if these gentlemen can stay healthy, we have one of the best offensive lines in the entire NFL. I just read it. This is not my words. I'm just telling you what has been written. According to PFF, who's grading these people, and according to the NFL. So if the Cleveland Browns can get these guys healthy, what they were missing, you see what I did there? The missing piece. X factor. Who's on the poster? They just needed a decent quarterback, man. Let me tell you something about how football works. This is the mystery, how people that don't really like, they sit and they watch football passively. Maybe they invite too many people over. This is how you know a real football fan. They don't invite too many people that don't know football over because they know that the people that don't know football will distract them. Real football fans are going to either, if they have a lot of people over, it's people that are intrinsic, their DNA and their blood, their fiber, like 20 DC Carsons, 30 or 50 Phil So Real. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you need like 100 Phil So Reals. They're so intrinsic in the football, they eat and sleep the thing. They be like sleeping, football. You know what I'm saying? They be like, you know what I'm saying? They be like with their special other, and they're watching football while they're doing whatever they're supposed to be, special people are supposed to be doing. Yo, but football people know football. So football season is probably going to be one of the most segregated times of the year for husbands and wives, for partners, for people who love football, and for casual fans and those who don't like football at all. It's going to be very segregated because football is like this. Football is very simple. It's poetry. It's poetic. If you understand football, if you really like, I grew up watching soccer. You feel me? Like, that was my football. But once you learn the game, it seems like if I was born in America, I would have been a football fan, like, you know, the other football, the American football fan, because once you learn the game, once you get a hold of the game, it ain't that hard to understand. It ain't that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. So let me put you on the game. This is how it works. You need a good quarterback. That's the guy that throws the ball. You know, that thing that Shador does. That's the quarterback. He's the leader of the pack. He calls the plays. He knows where this guy's going. He knows where that guy is going. He let him know. And guess what? If he gets into trouble, he's reading the defense. He's standing there and he's looking all around. He's seeing who has the white knuckles. He's trying to figure out who's trying to creep over. Is he blitzing? Oh, I see what he's trying to do. He's looking. All right. He also got to understand that guy may be trying to fake a blitz and set him up like Travis Hunter for a interception or an interception. English teachers, I'm sorry. All right, for an interception. A-E-I-O-U. You know what I'm saying? You got to say A-N when you get one of those A-E-I-O-U's. You hear him? For an interception. So he understands. He got to read that quickly. Is he trying to set me up for an interception? I don't think so. I think that guy's coming. It's 3rd and son. He wants to get the 4th down so we can punt the ball. I know he coming. Like Coach Prime said, we coming. Anyway, he's reading, all right? He can call what's called an audible because he sees what's happening. He's like, something don't look right. Like when you go to the hood, you know, when you go to the hood and you used to live in the hood, but you have moved out, you now are living in the suburbs, but you got to go visit that one cousin. You feel me? You still got to go on that old block where you know ain't nothing good happening on that block. You grew up there, but hey, you ain't know no better. You couldn't do anything anyway. That's what your parents could afford. So you go back to the old block. But you already know how the hood moves. So you looking around like, but you're not going to look around too hard because you don't want to look like you're visiting, like you a guest around here, because that's how you get robbed real quick. Oh, he don't live around here. Why he looking around like that? You feel me? Understands. So when you get to that hood, you know what I'm saying? You know you can peep game. You see a car down the block. Why he moving like that? You feel what I'm saying? Why that car moving like that? That car ain't supposed to be moving like that. So you know what you're going to do? You're going to grab the kids that you brought from the suburbs that didn't grow up here. You grab their hands and draw them closer to you. And the wives, you tell your suburb wife that didn't even grow up in the hood, you're like, yo, clutch your purse, girl. We got to act like we white around here, okay? Anyways, so the quarterback knows what's going on. That was the story, okay? When he sees all of that, he calls an audible. What's the audible? Clutch your purse. That's the audible. So he calls an audible, changes the play. He's like, look, I see that guy. I see the white knuckle. He coming. I see this guy. He clinching over. It's 3rd and 4th. He coming. I'm calling an audible. You know what I'm saying? He tells the offensive line, he's like, hey, yo, I need you to go this way. I need you to go that way. Let him come in. Let him through. Just let him through. The offensive guys are going to look back like, what you mean let him through? Let him through? Yes, I said let him through. Because he know that's in the audible, son. Football is beautiful if you know what's going on. If you understand what's going on. This here poetry that we're taking part of. It's beautiful. If everybody could be in sync, trust your leader, let him in. And then when he says hike, boom, steps back. That guy comes running. He steps to the side, give the ball to the running back. After he's ran through, boom, the running back's bust through that hole. Touchdown! It's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game. The Cleveland Browns have a good offensive line. It's only these guys. It's not that hard, people. It's not that hard. You have a good left guard, right guard. Let's take a closer look at these left guards and these right guards. That's Joe Batonio, and Wyatt Teller. Let's take a look at them. I brought some slides, people. I told y'all I brought some slides today. I needed to do some work today. Hold on, let me make sure I got it. I got the right one. Joe, what is it going to say? Joe Batonio. Joe Batonio, come up. Oh, we got to take Shador off the screen. All right, let's remove and let's add. Boom, there we go. So Joe Batonio, what was his grade? Joe Bartonio's grade, overall grade 63.9, pass blocking grade 70.2, run blocking grade 59.6. All right. Give me a second, guys. My guy Ron Tate, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the Cash App, my guy Ron Tate. Thank you so much, man. I see you. I see you. I see you, man. I don't usually call the people's names, but sometimes, I do it because I know the people. I don't want to put nobody, business out there. If I don't really know you, you got to give me permission to do that. Ron Tate, I see you, my guy. All right. All right, so look, according to PFF, he's 58th overall. 35th, he's 35th in pass blocking. His run blocking grade is Lord. DC says he knows everybody he said everybody knows not to act crazy around me when I'm watching the game. I'm telling you, man, this is a segregated time. Love and Liberty, what up with you, my guy? Less the running around, more the getting smacked by young 20s monsters. Okay. All right. Regressed. Oh, thank you, Peter. See, white people look good for something. Not digressed, but regressed. That's the word I was looking for. I told you, man, white people and black people, we can give you a seasoning and y'all can give us some words, okay? We can all live in harmony. If we stop hating each other, don't let the politicians separate us. We are good for each other. What you need, I got. What I need, you got. That's the way God set it up. There's no other way. But the fact that we keep hating each other, you ain't gonna get my seasoning, bruh. And I'm gonna have to keep saying digress. It is what it is. You feel me? Let's keep it moving. As long as our politics is going to separate us, I keep saying digress. You'll keep eating seasonless chicken. Unless we figure this out and get Jesus Christ and let them know, hey, I need something from you, my neighbor. Hey, neighbor. All right, so look, what is PFF saying right here? Okay, this is blocking. This is how it breaks down for Joe. All right, ranked number 1 offensive snaps played. First in pass block snaps played. Okay, I mean, you're playing a lot of snaps, but you know what I'm saying? The pass blocking is a little different. If you ain't sneezing, it ain't season. That's a fact. That is a fact, DC. Because when you pour in the season, the dust coming from the seasoning, you know what I'm saying, should get up in your nostrils, and that should make you go, yeah, that's when you know you're really in there. You know what I'm saying? But of course, if you don't know no words, then you got to get with some educated folks. You know what I'm saying? Like white people, y'all got like years on us, so y'all can tell us some words, plethora, and all those things. Like y'all do well on the SATs because it's written for y'all. Like, stop playing with me, son. All right, y'all use these words in your home. We use them, bros. My son's, he's 10 years old, talking about bro. I said, you better cut that nonsense out. Talking about bro. We ain't broing nowhere in this house. His big brother ain't use no bros, and he's a 4.0 student. We ain't gonna be broing. You 10 years old, you doing bad in school. Stop playing with me, bro. No bros. Nonsense, no ebonics, none of that in my house. I'm sorry. This is a sports show. Let's keep going. All right. He's 35th run block snaps. Man, we out of time. We about to run out of time. Dang. I brought so many slides that I can't do the show. Oh, man. Run block snaps play. Okay, these are a bunch of snaps, okay? He's 121st in penalties. That should be a good thing, right? Because when you know what I'm saying, if you got less penalties. You only got 8 penalties, you feel me? All right. Sacks allowed 3. He only allowed 3 sacks. Hits allowed 5. He's 115th. Total pressure allowed 32. He's 119th. All right, this ain't bad. There's a lot of players in the NFL. All right, these are not the teams. There's only 32 teams, but when they're talking about like how many players on each team, there's a lot of players. 54 times Do the math. Carry the one. I don't know. I don't know. Leave me alone. I don't know. Okay. All right. So that's Joe. So I'm trying to let you know that we got some really good players here. This is not the Cleveland Browns. Good morning, Peter. Peter Investor. Hope all is well, man. Right now, let me just let you know I'm going over the Cleveland Browns offense, the offensive line specifically, because that's where the game, the trenches is where the game is won and lost. You feel me? So I said, let me take a closer look because I feel like, there's a lot going on that, even though they're in a bigger and a tougher division, the Cleveland Browns actually, if you paying attention, you can actually see that the Browns are not, you know what I'm saying? They ain't going to be that bad. All right, so let's take Wyatt Teller. Let's go to Wyatt Teller. Where you at, Wyatt Teller? All right. Wyatt is his overall grade is 62.6. Pass blocking grade is 63.1. And then he gets a yellow light in the run blocking grade. These guys, Deshaun Watson was passing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, 61.6. So they were okay with the run, with the pass blocking, but all right with the run. Not so great. Some key places, the key things to look at: sacks allowed, only 2 sacks allowed. Hits allowed, only 4 hits allowed. All right. Total pressures allowed, 27. Wyatt Teller's he's a good guard. He's a good guard. That's a fact. Wyatt Teller's a good guard. All right, let's go to the next guy. This is really good because, I mean, the whispers and the people, like, that know the insiders, that some is starting to trickle down because they're thinking that the Cleveland Browns may be into Shador. They may be, thinking that Shador may be the long run. DeJuan Jones is great. Whew, boy, Lord. This must have been last year. Overall, 46.4. Oh, he's in the red. He comes back into the yellow, 57.6 pass blocking, run blocking. All right. Run blocking is 45.8. Yeah, he didn't do that well. He didn't do that well. He didn't do that well. This is all that injury stuff we're talking about. Like, that's not good. That is not that great. All right. And let's pull up the next guy. Conklin. Let's put up Conklin. But no, I'm doing this because I feel like Cleveland is only a few clicks away from being competitive. Cleveland could be very competitive. I believe it. All right, here we go. So his overall grade is 66.2. Pass blocking is 67. Pass blocking is 67. All right, 67.9. I mean, you're kind of starting to see a narrative here. These guys can block for the pass, and we know that Shador is he's a pass first quarterback. So this is a good sign for us. I'm just trying to paint this picture so you can see how this picture can really work out for, depending on how you have the pieces, right? You can have some of the best players, but sometimes it doesn't work out because they don't mesh. It doesn't go well together. You feel me? So it's like, yo, if you put the pieces together, these guys are some good pass blockers. This is great for Shador because he was really in a tough situation. Like, now you got guys who can block for him. All right, so Jack's run blocking grade is 59.6. He ain't too far off. Not too far off. Penalties allowed. 2 penalties. 48. That is great. That's good. Sacks allowed 7. That's not so great, but that's okay. Hits allowed 2 hits. Okay. 127th total pressures allowed, 38. This is not bad at all. This These are guys that can play the game of football. It's going to take some time. All right. For the sake of time, let me condense this just a little bit. So their right guard, their left guard, right? Their right guard and their left guard was one of the best duos in the NFL, or the best duos. Not one of the best. All right. The offensive line was one of the best, but the best duo, left guard and right guard, on the Cleveland Browns. Can you believe it? But because of injury, they're regressed. Thank you, Peter. They're regressed. All right. So, if you look at the bigger picture, if these guys can get healthy, they can get back to a little bit, because they're getting older, obviously, right? They're getting older. The more mileage you put on your body, the more you get hit, the more, you know what I'm saying, you start your play starts to regress. I understand that, but they can get back to their old self, pun intended, right? They can get back to their old self at maybe give us a 75 to 80%. That's going to be good football being played. That's the poetry of football, right? Guys are not always going to be 100%. They get young, and as soon as they come into the league, they start to age very fast because mileage, you're getting hit. As soon as you take your car off the lot, it starts to degrade because you're running over potholes. If you live in New York City, your car is going to be damaged within the first couple of months. You know what I'm saying? If your car is on a smooth road, you don't got to worry too much, all right? If you live in a city where all your roads are paved, you ain't got to worry too much, because when the car is just driving like this, you know what I'm saying? It's going smooth. So the nuts, the bolts, and those little screws and stuff, they're not coming loose as you're driving. That's why your car messes up. If that's game for you, press the like button. If that's the first time you realize some of y'all don't know how cars work and why they get, it's because of those potholes. If you keep going, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, things are getting, they're getting weaker. They're about to break because of the potholes. That's why you got to go to the mechanic, because you got to go to the mechanics every other week. If you live in a city where the potholes are bigger than your fist, you feel me? So that's free game for y'all. And if that helped you out, press the like button at least. You know what I'm saying? To subscribe is too expensive for you. It's free, by the way. Let's look at this clip right here. I brought something for y'all. Let me pull up this clip. We're almost done, guys. I got to get up out of here. I might have to do a night show, but I got to get up out of here.
Weakest position groups after free agency in the NFL draft. And the one we're going to focus on, wide receivers, strongest Tampa Bay, weakest Cleveland Browns. When you look at that group for the Browns, there's just a lot of question marks.
Yeah, it's really the position that and offensive line, but wide receiver especially was the one I was most surprised to see them not draft, right? And maybe, originally maybe I thought the plan was, okay, you traded out of the Travis Hunter pick, you took Mason Graham, we'll get a receiver somewhere around 2, 3, 4. There's some depth in this class, even though there wasn't a ton of superstars, but you're looking at a team now that has Jerry Jeudy, who had a solid season on a really heavy target share. He might have had the most targets in the entire NFL last season. So he got a heavy volume, and he's a solid player. But beyond that, a serious lack of proven options, right? Cedric Tillman had a couple of good games before his injury last year. When Jameis was the quarterback, he started to look like a vertical threat, but David Bell and Jamari Thrash, I believe, only caught 3 balls apiece. Elijah Moore is gone. I mean, you're just looking at, beyond Jerry Jeudy, so many unproven options. And I know these are young guys and somebody can emerge, but you've got they're shrouded in a lot of mystery right now in that wide receiving core. I think they're going to be relying on Jeudy and those 2 tight ends, David Njoku and Harold Fenton Jr., a lot before those guys start to develop, hopefully by the middle of the season.
Yeah. What are your thoughts of Deontay Johnson?
All right, so listen. All right, Ty Smith, listen. Ty Smith says the Browns only had one player on the offensive line make the Pro Bowl. The Browns are in trouble for the next few years. Here's why I can debunk that for you. Of what I just laid out, if you're paying attention. Because of age and basically injury. and the age could have caused the injury. I understand that. But injury is the thing that caused them to not perform at the level that they performed a couple of years ago. So now that I'm digging a little deeper, and I'm like, hold up. On the surface, if you say, like, if you're in the bar and somebody says, man, who's going to be the best in whatever, right? And they then dropped a couple of teams. And then Cleveland Brown comes up. If you want to get some jokes, you want to get everybody to laugh, just say, oh, the Browns stink. Like, everybody will start laughing on the surface. But if you look a little deeper, they got a good coach. The coach has 2 Coach of the Year awards. Coach of the Year awards. They got a good coach now. You can usually kind of like break it down by position and say, okay, what are they missing? They got a good coach. That is the ultimate leader of the team. So if this guy is good, right? Then what else is there? They got a good offensive line now. If Cleveland had a good quarterback, we would not be having some of these conversations that we're having, because they've had, like, didn't they use 5 quarterbacks last year, like y'all kept saying? Quarterback play is bad. So you wasted the years of your offensive line. You got to play complementary football. Remember the scenario I just gave you on how beautiful the game could be when the audible, going back to the hood. You know that story that I just told you? Listen. It's a beautiful game if everything works in conjunction, if everything is in sync, right? You got to play complementary football. One guy, a good player on a bad team can get angry, can get tired, can get frustrated, and not play at his best. You feel me? Because that's just how sports works. All right. I was watching the what is it? Dang. What was it called? What last night? Let me pull this up. I don't know their name. I was watching Milton and Buford last night. All right. And Derek, I think his name is Derek Baker, number 1 on Milton. Number 1 on Milton. He happens to be their quarterback, and he happens to be their best player. He's among some guys that don't play that well. But the dude remind me of Cam Scatterbull because he's a fighter, but he can play. He can run over dudes, and he's a player. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, dang, bro, can you imagine? Like, because that's how high school works, right? You go from high school to college and then eventually to the NFL. The NFL is a bunch of Derek Bakers. You feel me? So it's like, that's how it works. You get one guy at the high school or the college level, and they're Baker couldn't hit anything. You mean passing? Because he was running over guys. So yeah, passing, he's terrible. Like, I was like, is this guy a true QB? Right? But he, with the ball in his hands, the dude's running over people. So I said, this guy either a tight end, he's a fullback, or make him a receiver. Like, yeah, I'm like, what? He's out of position because he can't throw to save his life. Like, if he had to throw to save his life, he'd be like, all right, I'm dead. Go ahead, bury me now. Like, for real. But yeah, you get that one guy that's good, and it frustrates him because everybody else around him, the entourage, is not as good. Like, if you went to the hood, right, with 3 guys, right, and then trouble came, and then you look around and you like, oh yeah, y'all want some beef? It's only 2 guys. You got 4, right? It's like 2 guys and you got 4. And you're like, oh, y'all want some of this? You know, you got to pump your chest up because you got 2 other guys with you, right? You got three other guys. You got 3 other guys with you. There's four of y'all. And you're like, oh, let's go. And then the 2 guys are looking at you, start laughing. Like, what you laughing at? What you think? And then you turn around, it's only you. Because your other guys that ran away. Oops. I'm knocking over my studio. I'm getting too excited here. The other 2 guys don't ran. The other 3 guys, they don't ran away. You all by yourself now. You got to play complementary football. The guys that are around you have to be just as good as you. You feel me? Let's watch a little bit of this, and I gotta get up out of here, guys. I'm over time.
Johnson, obviously, last year didn't go well for him. 3 stop. Anytime you're on 3 different teams.
Hold on. Wait, Ty, what are you saying? Dylan is questionable for Saturday's game against the Eagles. What does that mean for the competition? Are the Browns trying to hide him in the back room, questionable. Man, look, who we about to play, bro? Snoop? Yo, yo, this would be like some Snoop's grandmother must be praying because she like, baby, you're gonna be a starting quarterback this year. And he looking at her like, Grandma, I'm sitting on the couch next to you. How am I gonna be? Baby, I told you to read your Bible. I told you, baby, to keep God in front. Baby, you're gonna start this year. And he's like, Grandma, all right, you know, you're old. She's 80. She's been believing all her life. That's how she produced his mom. That's how she produced the things that he has. That's how he got to the NFL. But he's still not believing her. And the quarterback starts to drop. This guy might be a starter in the daggone NFL this year because, good gosh, all the quarterbacks are going down, and he may be the only healthy guy left because Joe Flacco, who knows? He's 40. He's 40. Like I told you, 40-year-olds can sneeze the wrong way and pull something. Now be out there playing with young boys trying to earn a living. Stop playing with me, man. Anyway, okay, I didn't know he was questionable. That's interesting. That is very interesting to know. Okay, come on.
Teams in an NFL season, things aren't going well.
Yeah, I mean, and things, they don't go well intangibly, right? You know, if it's a locker room problem, then you have something that really is hard to overcome. And it was hard to overcome for 3 different teams last year. I think Johnson has talent. He might be the second best receiver, or maybe even the best receiver on this team as far as talent. We've seen what he can do, especially in the past in Pittsburgh. But, you know, if he doesn't beat out these young guys in training camp and through the preseason, it would be really tough for him, I think, at that point to find another spot to latch onto. But he's got a shot to be one of the starters on this team. But whatever is going on intangibly or whatever happened this past year, he's got to put it behind him and just play football.
All right. Thank you, PFF guys. I appreciate it for that information, for helping us out. Love and Liberty says, imagine preparing your whole life. All right. Like to be like an NFL QB and injuring your hammy in training camp. That definitely sucks, man. That I know it's really bad. Even though we want Shador to be the guy, there's no way I'm co-signing like celebrating somebody doing that. Like, come on, man. Your family celebrating, everybody's celebrating. Dylan not questionable. I thought he was playing. I don't know where you're getting your news. Let's hope. So Ty Smith, the Browns will finish dead last in the AFC North this year and years to come. That's not the proclamation. That is not the proclamation. And again, when I get more time and y'all can come on here, let's come on here. We can battle this out. That is not my proclamation. That is not the TLP proclamation. And I'll tell you why. I've already laid a lot of it out, but I'm going to keep laying it out. The offensive line, even though a little bit of an age issue, they're okay if they can stay healthy. If they get Shador, I'm saying Shador because that is their franchise quarterback. They've answered the question about the leader on the field. So, okay, offensive line, Shador. All right? Here's another thing. 2 guys that were in trouble with the law are coming back, and they're young. The cat from Texas. Let's do that right now. I told you I brought a lot of slides today. Hold on. Let me cancel this. I'll put it up, and then that way it makes it easier. I'm making my argument, Ty. So hold on. I'm going to make my argument. I know why you're saying what you're saying, and I respect it, but I'm going to make my argument, and you got to believe me. That's it. You cannot disagree with me.
Well, the legal news just keeps coming for the Cleveland Browns. They just announced they have signed wide receiver Isaiah Bond, who is a UDFA from Texas this past draft season. He went through the draft. Nobody picked him because he was arrested for sexual assault allegations. And
hey, JR Boxing, don't do that, bro. Don't just come in here. You know I'm about to sign off. You're going to come in here and be throwing jabs like you boxing. Don't do that, Floyd. Harry B, the Browns are going to stink collectively as a team, and you know it. I don't know it. No, I don't. I'm telling y'all always doubting me. Y'all always doubting me. I'm trying to tell you right now. I'm reading these tea leaves. Okay.
It just came out today that he had those allegations, or his sexual assault case was no billed. He will not face any further criminal charges. Looks like everything's pretty much in the clear. And pretty immediately after that came out, and it was announced that he has signed with the Browns. Now, take the sexual allegation stuff aside, which I know there's plenty of jokes to be made about the Browns and Andrew Berry. We will leave those for you guys because that's what you're good at. Isaiah Bond was likely going to be a first round, maybe a high second round pick. That's how good this guy was in.
All right. You heard that? Possibly first round, high second round wide receiver. All right. His legal problems have, subsided, and he's going to be signed. He's signing with the Browns. All right. Keep in mind, man, look, legal stuff happens. Okay. And yes, you will not get drafted because the NFL don't want none of that smoke. So understand that.
College. Now, he had 540 yards and 5 touchdowns last season. He had 4.3 speed. He is an excellent route runner. He gets off the line well. His NFL comp is Jalen Waddle. Like, this is a good wide receiver. The Browns wide receiver room is one of the worst, if not the worst, in the entire NFL. So to infuse that room with a talent like this is great. Now, how you feel about signing another guy with this sort of baggage, I'll leave that up to you guys, but I just want to let you know that he is a very good player. Now, I haven't seen the details of the contract. I'm sure it's something very...
All right, so the details don't matter. We don't care about the details. I just wanted that information. All right, so just understand. So that's the thing. So now you're going to have 2 good wide receivers. All right? Remember, we got the left guard, right guard duo already. Now you get Judy, that's his name, right? And now you get Bond. Right? You're building remember I said 2 years, about 2 years. I know Todd Smith is saying they're going to stink forever, but I'm just saying this is how you build quietly. The same thing happens in basketball. Everything doesn't always work out initially, but you quietly build. You add a troublemaker like this, right? I'm sorry, my guy, but you're a troublemaker. You get into trouble, all right? You add this guy. He has to understand, don't mess with the bag. All right. You got one good wide receiver already. He's going to take some of that load off. You already got Shador and that good offensive line. I'm painting this picture for y'all to show y'all how within a year or two, they could be good. I'm trying to tell you. I'm painting a picture, and I hope you're seeing it. The best guard duo in the NFL, that's on the Cleveland Browns. Like, come on, guys. I'm trying to show you how this team could be right there. Right there, the center is not bad. He did all right. Now you got one receiver. You got now you got 2 receivers. I'm saying 2 good receivers now. Now you got options. Remember, and then you got that African guy who's the tight end. That dude with all the stripes on him, and he's walking around with his shirt off. He's looking scary. Like, you don't want to see that guy in a Brooklyn alley even on a bright Sunday. I don't even want to see that dude. I'm like, whose man is this? Why is he walking around with this? Why is he looking like scary? Like, he's mad dark. He's darker than me. Why he looking like this? Muscular. You know what I'm saying? When you got like mad muscle, but your stomach is still big, but the muscles are still ripping through the stomach. Like that. Like, he eat a lot of gari and a lot of fufu. Like, he'll kill you. That's a tight end. I'm like, God, good gracious. He don't need to put no pads on to play this game football, okay? He can just hit people. And I heard word on the street is that he survived some like 2nd-degree burn or something like that, and he still played and he still beats it out. So now you got 2 good receivers. You got a beast African as a tight end. And you got Shador who can get the ball to them guys. Bro, I'm telling you, see how teams are built. This is how good franchises are built. It takes time. But what I'm seeing is left guard, right guard. The center is good. Okay. I can work with this. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Hold up. They're better than my New York Giants. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. The offensive line is good. Oh, okay. Shador, they need Shador. Protect him. He just need at least 2.5, 3 seconds. He needs 3 seconds. Let's be frank. Shador needs 3.5 seconds. Okay. If they can give Shador 3.5 seconds, oh my goodness, we will be living in football bliss. Football blitz. I'm putting the pieces together. You got a good tight end. You got 2 receivers. This young buck comes in and he does well. You got 2 good receivers. All right. You got a good quarterback now in Shador if he gets that job. All right. Let the placeholders go ahead and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that girlfriend that you got that you ain't gonna marry, but you just pretending right now. Let the placeholders do their thing, and the real girl is gonna show up real soon. We got that. I'm not gonna get too much into the defense, but word on the street is number 95, he's a problem. He's a problem. But there's a lot more than that on the defense. And then they added some young guns that can actually catch the ball. So if you got stars, all you got to do is just put serviceable parts around them that can play the game of football. And I'm trying to tell you, this is how football teams become good. The good guys the 2 good guys, the tight end, those guys will bring these other guys up, because if the team starts to progress, guess what happens? Everybody comes up together, because now they're like, oh, Shador's, we got a good quarterback. I want to play better because I want my stats to be up. Everybody's talking about us. All eyes are on us. You mean my contract can go up because now I'm getting the ball? I'm going to play better. The Cleveland Browns have a good squad. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. The Cleveland Browns have a good squad. And guess what? They got a good coach. 2 years, guys. 2 years, Kevin Stefanski has been rated the best coach in the NFL. Coach of the year. So what else do you need? He got to coach him. Sometimes the coach has to be well enough. He has to be astute enough to be able to understand how to coach not to lose. All right? If he can prepare his guys to coach not to lose, you got winners on the team. Coach not to lose. That resilience can actually help your team to win some competitive games. That's what it sometimes boils down to. How do I know this? Because the Big 12 is like that. Since we got to the Big 12, I started to realize that, a lot of these coaches, they know how to coach not to lose. A lot of these coaches coach not to lose. And they find ways to win close games. And that's how they keep going like the way they're going. The Cleveland Browns have a coach that can do that. He knows, or he has to be able to coach not to lose. They'll find the W's in their will to win. I hope that's not going over nobody's head. I hope you understand, because coaching is a very fine, delicate thing to do. You feel me? Because when you don't have all of the pieces, then you really got to be able to know your personnel, and you got to coach each player up. You got to coach each line up. You got to coach each room up, and you got to be locked in sync with your position coaches. Everybody got to be on the same page. And when you go in there with a game plan, you already coaching not to lose, you'll find a way to win. I'm telling you. Coaches not to lose, they find ways to win. Surf, what up with you? Hope all is well. Surf said, yeah, you're right. Most NFL games are close in score due to the talent being so balanced around the league. I've been watching this NFL game for a very long time. I'm telling you, I've been watching it for a very long time. And if you look at it, yes, they're in the division that's gonna break them down. But at the end of the day, I don't know that the AFC is that. That like they can't survive because they've been in the AFC and they've had the best They've actually went to the playoffs, and they've had the best offensive line. Joe Flacco took them to the playoff. If you get hurt, it's hard for you to produce. And I get it. I understand it. But don't forget that the Cleveland Browns are building, and they're starting to get some really good pieces. If they can answer the quarterback position, if they can figure it out, a way not to get rid of Shedeur, he is the missing piece. Shedeur Sanders is the missing piece that the Browns need. He has a will to win. He's good at the sport. He's smart. Whatever he's lacking, if they were to stop playing games and just develop him and say, okay, you know what, we're going to get rid of all of these guys. We're going to put 2 other guys around you just in case you get injured. But we're going to focus more on you. This is your game. If they can do that, with his will to win, Shedeur can actually lead this team to the playoffs. Maybe on another show we'll talk Super Bowl, but he can lead his team to the playoffs. And I'm starting to see it. I'm actually starting to see it. Just look at the pieces that they acquired. Look at the pieces they already got, and look at what they're acquiring. It's easy when a team is down to kick them down further, Ty Smith. It's easy to just kick them down. But sometimes you're not paying attention. And then all of a sudden they win a championship. I see it all the time. I see it happen all the time. I just saw it in the NBA this past season. I just saw it. When you're not paying attention, when you're not looking, they're acquiring a piece here. They're taking another piece here. Maybe another troublemaker here, a troublemaker there, or some disenfranchised person that can really play. They just need, sometimes, this is my ending statement. Sometimes a good player may be on a bad team, and you will never understand why they cannot produce the way that they could produce at the highest level until something sparks their fire within. Another player or something happens within the organization, the synergy of the organization, and it sparks them, and all of a sudden they become a star. I'm telling you, some of these players maybe don't care because this is the pros. Bruh, we suck. I'm going to come to work, do the least. Just like the rest of us in the 9-to-5 world in corporate America, we ain't trying to do too much. If you get somebody new that come to the job and they like first day, especially an African or a Mexican or maybe a Jamaican, all right? You get one of those folks, all right? And they're coming to the job. Day number 1, I'm done. What do you think the rest of them people at the job going to be looking like? What you mean you done? Hey, yo, son. Holler at me, bro. Let me take you to the bathroom. Come on, come. You get to the bathroom, you close the door. Lock the door. Hey, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't you ever do that. Stop. Well, what you mean, just stop, bro. Not drop that fake Jamaican accent, nigga. You from Brooklyn. Stop playing with me. I seen on the block, bro. All right. What's up? Bro, stop, bro. All right? Stop. You don't know. You're not going to show up. You're not going to show all of us up, okay? Take your time. Pace yourself. We got 8 hours, okay? First hour, you're going to do a batch. The second hour, you're going to do another batch. Relax, all right? You're not going to do two batches, all right, that quickly. Relax, okay? You're going to get paid regardless. If you see the rest of us, you're going to mess it up, all of us, okay? Relax, okay? So, yeah, anyways, what I'm trying to let you all know is that players sometimes play to the energy or the degree to which the team produces. I'm going to repeat that for some people. Sometimes good players play to the energy or the degree of the organization. And when something sparks, they come alive. That's it. I'm telling y'all. The Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Browns, I believe, this year, y'all take it from me. Y'all already know your mans. Like, who's your mans? I'm your mans, okay? Holler at me. When you see this year, the Cleveland Browns, I ain't saying they're going to be word beaters. I'm just saying they're going to play to a place where you're not expecting them to play. That's the best, safest statement that I can make, and I can run away from it if they don't. All right? I said they're going to play to the safest. They're going to play to a place where you're not even going to believe it, okay? That's what I said. I ain't said they were going to win the Super Bowl. But if they do, you can count that. You can count that. You can count me saying that. Hey, got it? Sony Augustine, what up with you? So, all right. Todd Smith said, in what year? I said 2 years, Todd Smith. I said 1.5 to 2 years. 1.5 because the pieces that they're adding, I think if they figure out the quarterback position and if it's Shador, it's going to happen within 2 years. Let me just say 2 years. Because now you got 2 drafts and they're still at the top of the draft. They still got first-round picks. So now, if you figure out this thing and Shador stays healthy and whoever starts, down the line, Shador becomes the guy, you'll start seeing, they'll be like, oh, okay, we got the right guard, we got the left guard, we got the center. Okay, let's add a few tackles. And let's go out and go get another, maybe 2.5, maybe another 2 wide receivers. All right, and maybe 1 more tight end. It's not that hard to do in 2 years. It's not. You don't even have to do it through the draft. You can do it through acquisitions from other teams. You just look at, who's angry on the sidelines, not getting no playing time. You look at their PFF grade, you see how much they produce when they actually get in the game, and you're like, oh, shoot, that guy can play. He just needs an opportunity. You snatch him. And before you know it, bada boom, bada bang, you're right there. 2 years. Just 2 years, they'll be there because now you have the biggest question answered. That's your quarterback position. That is the biggest question that the Cleveland Browns had to answer. They have it right in house, but they're trying to fumble the bag. That's what they do best. They know how to fumble the bag. But they got Shador Sanders right there. He's their franchise. Get Shador, your quarterback, and start building around him. There are players that want to play for Shador coming from college because they know how accurate he is. It's all about accuracy. They're like, oh, he can run around like Lamar Jackson. No, we don't need that. We just need somebody to be able to throw the ball accurately to us. When I'm wide open, I don't want to pull my hammy trying to reach for the ball because this other guy does not know how to put the ball where I can still get it in stride. They know how accurate Shador is. They don't even care about all the fanfare. They're just like, yo, I'm a wide receiver. I want my check. Shador is the guy that can give me my check because he's accurate. He's that accurate. Yes. So you want Shador as your quarterback? Kevin Stefanski, don't fire him. If the Browns fire Kevin Stefanski, I know how he's treating Shador, and I know the fan base feeling some kind of way. No. Pause. Time out. Do not fire Kevin Stefanski. He is the best coach for the Cleveland Browns. Keep him at the top. Put Shador there. They'll figure it out. 2 grown men, they'll figure it out. He got to go home and kiss his wife. Shador got to go home and kiss his girl. They'll figure this out. Trust me. This is a business here. All right? They'll figure it out. Kevin Stefanski, Shador Sanders, that offensive line, Isaiah Bond, Judge Judy, whatever his name is, Jury Duty. That's his new name. I don't care. Jury Duty, okay? Jury, that African guy with the bands all around him, walking around with the fufu gut, that guy, keep him. Y'all with me? All right? Put a few more pieces, that's a football team. That is your football team. The defense, we're going to figure it out next time. But that's your football team. That's your offense. And then the depth is already there. Serviceable depth. That's all you need. That's it. All right? In 2 drafts, that's 2 years. My proclamation is 2 years. You got Kevin Stefanski, Shador, that offensive line. Keep them. Healthy, though. I don't know why they're dropping 20, 40 pounds. They're not conditioning right. Condition them. Keep them healthy. Keep them conditioned. All right? You got 2 good receivers, add maybe 2 more. All right? That's maybe the next draft, add a few more wide receivers. maybe a tight end and a half or whatever. Maybe bring somebody up that's in the organization already. Bring them up. Or somebody that was in preseason, that was in the camp that you got rid of, bring them back. Coach them up. Now you got your depth. Y'all ready to go. Y'all got the line. You got your tight ends. All right, this is football. I mean, it's not that much. All right. You got your wide receivers that they're on the end. You got your tight ends on the inside. You got your offensive line. You got your quarterback. That's a football team. Bada boom, bada bang. We're done. That's it. I'm telling you, in 2 years, they're right there. You heard it here first. I'm telling you, in 2 years, the Cleveland Browns will be competitive in the AFC North. Bada boom, bada bang. That's it. I'm telling you. Watch what I'm saying. Surf, I'm an African. African men can cook, okay? I'll be cooking sometimes, but people don't want to hear me. I try to throw some jokes in there to keep it excited because there's information. If between football dudes, we can sit here, we can talk about this stuff, but it's dry. It's dry for people that don't care about football. So you gotta put a little bit of jokes here and there. You gotta tell some stories to try to keep it interesting. But I'm trying to tell you, man. I've been trying to tell people how this thing works. Oh man. Viral 30, what are y'all arguing about? I gotta get up out of here. Let me see. Sony Augustine, what up with you? Hope all is well. What y'all talking about? Let me read some in the chat. All right. DC makes no sense to have him listed at third QB then without underwhelming performances and no preseason action. DG was drafted to be a career backup project. Then what was Shador drafted as? Shador was drafted to be the number 1 QB. Stop playing. You already know that. DC, if DG was drafted to be a career backup, Shador was drafted to be number 1 QB. They knew that. They know that. DC said JR Boxing the same, a backup project. DC don't know what he's talking about. I think he's too old. Come get me, DC. Come get me next time when I got more time. DC don't understand. DC watches soccer, but they're playing with a rugby ball, so it makes it seem like it's football. Shador was drafted to be the number 1 quarterback. All right. All right. Shador was drafted to be the number 1 quarterback because you got 2 guys. It makes sense. I can break it down for you real easy. You got 2 guys. One is old, so he's not the future, right? Because you wanna put up numbers now. Kevin Stefanski needs to put up numbers so that he doesn't lose his job, right? So you get Flacco. You get Kenny Pickett because Kenny Pickett reminds you of Flacco when he was younger. So that's why you get Flacco. You remember now, white is right. You need 2 white guys in the room, okay? And then you get that's one of the reasons, okay? Take that for whatever it's worth, all right? It's worth all the seasoning you got in your closet, I promise you. Take the Dylan Gabriel because that's the guy you wanted. Shador was a happenstance. Shador was not supposed to happen. So you bring in Flacco, DG, or whatever his name is, Dylan Gabriel. You're bringing in because that was supposed to be your guy, but for some reason, Shador's still on the board. Okay, I thought we were over it. I thought we concluded, but we colluded, But, I didn't think that he was going to drop that low. I thought we was going to punish him, but I didn't know that y'all was going to be like, keep smacking him, right? All right, he's still there. We'll pick him up. Just because we don't want nobody else to pick him up, let's see what he does. But Shador's number 1. That's it. There's no argument. DC knows that. Come on, DC's playing with y'all. DC knows Shador's number 1. He said it. He told me privately. He said he knows Shador's number 1. He knows. He knows. Everybody knows. Like, the whole world knows Shador's number 1. They got to play this game because it's easy to play. Because the more you play this game, the more we get interested. We lose interest if Shador is treated the way Shador's supposed to be treated. Y'all will not watch. Y'all won't. Y'all will probably show up every now and then. Y'all go just right back to sleep. All right. DC, stop playing with me. Jesus don't lie, don't like lying. No, DC. You told me privately that Shador is the best quarterback in that room. All right, well, love and liberty. You're the last one. You get the last word. What'd you say? I have a hard time imagining Flacco playing better against the Panthers, even the 2 strings that Shador did, no matter what the Browns' original intentions were. So I mean, look, Flacco has the arm still. It's still operating. You know, when you're 40 years old, it starts to like, you know, you need some oil on the joints because it starts sounding like, you know, like, you remember the Tin Man? Yeah, but he's not the future, right? He's a runner QB. So is Pickett. Pickett hasn't really produced. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't shined. He's had his opportunity. He hasn't shined in the NFL. And you know his ceiling. Shador's just getting started. You know what he can do. They know that Shador is the starter. This is not an argument. Y'all already know. I just laid it out. Do I have to do more? This video should have a high level of rewatchability because what I just laid out, you know what they call like a clinic? This is a clinic on how to build a team, on how the Cleveland Browns are going to get their team back to their prominence. You keep Kevin Stefanski. He's the former coach of the year. He still has that ability. He didn't lose it. He just need pieces to be able to, you know, do his vision. You keep that offensive line because they were once the best. They've been marred by injury. Okay, so you uninjured them. All right. You add some weapons. That means the wide receivers. You got the worst wide receivers room in the NFL. You got jury duty. Now you're adding this guy that almost went through jury duty in Isaiah Bond. Right? He escaped. He beat the charges. He's a rapper. He beat the case. All right. Murder was the case. Nah. Anyways, so you got Isaiah. You got jury duty. You got that offensive line. Right? You got serviceable pieces around him. You got the big foo-foo gut African guy, the big guy that walks around scary, like you want to run away, run the other side, even though you're black, just like him. He's scary, but he's really good. That's what I mean, okay? I'm not trying to be racist here. Anyway, you got that guy. You can build around that. Before you know it, in 2 years, bada boom, bada bang, AFC North, we the guys. We the ones. Bookmark this video if you don't believe me. I'm telling you how much I'm right. I know the NFL. And I'm out, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day. DC, what you say? You want the last word? Gosh, DC, what you got to say? I'm not saying things won't change, just saying you can see the Browns' intentions from a mile away. We're not talking about the Browns' intention. DC, didn't we have this conversation already? DC, we're not talking about what their intentions are. Get off the intentions and get on what you know for a fact that you know. I'm saying my proclamation, I know. Their intentions versus what we know are going to come to a head. Once that comes to a head, who's going to survive? That is Shador. That's how you make your proclamations. That's what I'm saying. You know Shador's the best guy in that room. He is their future. That is it. It's not Arch Manning because he hasn't taken those snaps. He's not the guy. The only thing you're thinking about are his 2 brothers and his uncle or his grandpa. His uncle, well, not his 2 brothers, his uncles, I'm sorry. His brothers. You're thinking about his uncles and you're thinking about his grandpa. That's not him. So Arch Manning, no go. Shador Sanders, everybody else, whatever their intentions are, we don't care about that. They got them there. If they fumble, that's on them. I'll be right here to say, I told you y'all should have kept Shador. I will be making that video and that live. But they haven't. So I take their intentions and I set it to the side and I go with what I know in the room. That's how I'm making it. Unless you are what I called a skeptic. Peace. I'm out.